Hey everyone, today we'll go through the patch notes for August 5th. There are a couple things to go through, so we'll jump right in and talk about them. First thing we have is the new counterpass unit, Carantisir, and he is going to be coming with some pretty lengthy skill description and such, so we'll go through them. But first of all, he's going to be SSR striker counter units with the ground attack, with the ground movement type, with the deployment cost of 4 and origin of change, so he will do and take less damage from change type of enemies within PvE contents. We'll start with his basic skill first. He will be inflicting AoE damage with the 2 ballot hits and deals additional single target damage to each enemy he hit with his basic attack. And this additional single target hits will be only applied to units with 4 cost or lower within gauntlets as well. Moving on to his passive skill. Upon deployment, grants an iron defense state for 6 seconds, which is removed after 8 hits. And after every 5 attack, he performs an enhanced attack that does a knockback in front and inflict the AoE damage with the 2 ballot hits. It also grants him skill haste plus 15% for 8 seconds when he hits enemy with his enhanced attack, which scales up to 60%, so he needs to hit up to 4 enemies with his enhanced attack to get the maximum skill haste bonus. And as he level up his passive skill, he will be getting up to 40% more defense penetrations and reactivates deployment buff when casting an enhanced attack. So it seems like this passive skill is the core part for him. Keeping this buff cycle up is going to be the most crucial part of it. So I guess having attack speed is going to be really crucial part for this character. His special skill is pretty simple. It's going to be doing AoE damage in front and also deals additional single target damage to each enemy hit, and it also applies a strong airborne. And with the gauntlets, this only applies to enemies with the 4 cost or lower, which is pretty similar to its basic attack. And as you level up, it will do more damage with it and also gains perfect evasion for 6 seconds after using the skill. Lastly, which is his ultimate skill, it inflicts AoE damage and stun enemies in front for 2 seconds with the strong knockback with the 4 ballot hits, then launches a projectile in front that inflicts the AoE damage as well. And the projectile hits will grant him attack plus 25% for 10 seconds, and that also scales with as he hits more enemies with it. And in gauntlets, grants 2 stack instead of 1 stack if enemy units hit are 4 cost or lower. And as you level up his ultimate skill, he will be doing more damage with it. And lastly, ultimate skill cooldown minus 5 seconds every time an affected enemy hit by the projectile is being killed. So here's my first impression after reading through his skill kits. I think passive skill seems to be the main focus for him. Keeping those iron defense buff up is going to be the most crucial part to keeping him alive. And as long as you can keep him alive, I feel like he will have pretty good DPS potentials. Not to mention, if he can keep triggering those enhanced attack, it will refresh the iron defense buff and also grant him pretty decent amount of skill haste depending on how much enemy he can hit with it. So I would say focusing on attack speed is going to be definitely the most optimal stats for him. And if he can kind of play like Veronica, I guess giving anti-ground damage and such to just mow down your frontline and keep knocking them back while also getting iron defense buff sounds pretty good on paper. Special skill wise, strong airborne seems to be the hit for this character, and the damage potential it has is probably pretty decent as well. And his ultimate skill seems to be packed with a lot of good stuff. AoE damage with stuns, as well as a strong knockback, being able to buff himself, and also able to lower his cooldown if enemies get affected, but his ultimate skill dies out of the field. So overall, I would say this is very good looking 4 cost units. At the same time, being a 4 cost units is pretty challenging already within PvP, and he really relies on those iron defense buff. So if vanilla is out during that week, probably really hard to use, or if they pull out something extreme crew, it's going to be pretty hard. Probably going to be pretty hard to use during the Fatima, because Fatima just gonna come out freezing for a couple seconds and also apply the stun against him, so that's going to be pretty tough as well. Not to mention, it doesn't seem to have any knockback resistance as well, so that's also going to be a pretty big weakness, especially for the frontline units. It all depends how easy to keep those iron defense up, but if he can keep those buff up pretty easily, I can see this character being really good. If that's not the case, probably becoming beam units. Maybe I'm being too hard on him, but once again, it all comes down to his passive skill and how easy to keep those iron defense up during the actual battle. And here's his illustration that we've seen from the story, as well as the ultimate cut-in we didn't see before. His sword actually splits into bow and shoots a bow attack. So that's pretty cool projectile attack animations, I would say. You'll probably see him when you actually get him through the game. But that is it for the counter pass units. And moving on to danger close as well, which there are some minor changes. So we are going to be getting Nibble as the danger close boss rotations with the Mac unit debuff and counter units buff with the change origin as well. And the main changes for danger close is that they added additional elimination points ranks, and basically you are able to get this new rewards as you hit up to 18,000 points. So if you're someone who's been clearing extreme mode without any buff, just clearing that, should be able to get this point pretty easily, and you are able to get additional rewards basically, which sounds pretty nice, I would say. And along with that, they're also giving some additional rewards for the top ranked players and such, which looks pretty cool. The number 1 players are going to be getting this cool looking frame along with this cool looking title. Anyone within top 10 is going to be getting this title, and also there are some emblem. If you're number 1, you're going to be getting this, and some cool looking other emblems. I think this is hinting what's going to be coming with the future stories, as well as getting close to fighting one of the demon lords. So that seems to be the theme around that. So yeah, I think this may be a bit of teaser they're doing with the danger close rewards, but it is slowly coming towards to the final chapter of Act 3 most likely, which we're fighting another demon lords. Maybe I need to actually get my ass up and actually try it for danger close, which I haven't been trying for some time. But these are pretty cool looking emblems as well as title. So yeah, I'll try my best, but I don't know. I've been retired for danger close for a while. I just don't know. This boss rush content in any games that I really have fun and go crazy for first year, then after that I'm just like whatever types of feeling. And it applies the same here as well. So as cool as the title and everything looks, yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to obtain for myself. But we'll see. Other stuff, we have a usual content rotation. We got quad bosses with the Tyrant Gigas. We also have Punch and Event for additional rewards. And they're also making seasonal episode for this one, permanently added to the collections, as well as substream event resource drop bonus for the CL story. And rerun banners as well, but like I said, New Awakening units will be coming with the anniversary or half anniversary patch. So it's probably best to hold at the moment. Not saying these characters are bad, but they are also going to be most likely giving selector for some older characters as well. So it's probably best to hold at the moment. I think you can probably spend your blue tickets for Black Rose, which is really good. It's 3 cost snapper units, I would say. So you can consider that. But other than that, I would definitely hold your resources until anniversary banners and stuff. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this week's patch notes. We'll definitely go and work on the kind of tier list for SSR units as well as Awakening units, because the half anniversaries are coming. So if you're missing certain characters from those lists I will be making, you probably want to go after, and we'll see if he will be included in that list. But as of right now, a couple units came out since the last anniversary, so like a half year ago, but not too many units were added, I would say, that really fills into that tier list spot. So it will probably see a lot of repeated names appear within those lists, but regardless, they are definitely some good looking character came out since half a year ago, so I'll definitely update those lists. But that is pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time with more videos.